Hi, everyone. Good morning. It's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me. Thanks so much for being here this morning. I really appreciate you joining us from wherever you are in the world. We now reach women in 150 countries, so we're all over the place, and we have unique personalities, lifestyles, and mission in life. But we have one thing in common, which is that we're all over 60 or thereabouts, over 50, and we're actually living our lives with some sense of purpose and having fun. Having fun in our 60s. So I'm starting my day today with my cup of tea, as I always do. I picked up this tea bag when I was traveling. It's cinnamon. And I've never seen a box of tea since then, but I just had this one little tea bag. And I enjoyed it. It's really cool. It's very spicy. So I put it in my rainbow mug. But anyway, it's a cinnamon tea, whatever you're drinking. Cheers. Hope you're having a great morning. Now, I've got a topic this morning that I hope you find of interest. It won't be relevant to everybody, but you'll get the spirit of it, and you'll understand what our blogger, Elaine Ambrose, was trying to say here. And when I started reading it, I started laughing right away. It was so funny. But it's about a topic that I think a lot of you, some may be troubled by it, but hopefully this will give you some tips on how to revive the lost art of communication, especially with your kids, your adult kids. So here's the deal. She got a text first thing in the morning. Hi, Mom, can you watch the kids? A text. And she says, I want to say, I was in labor for 22 hours and gave up my career. Can you at least call me? And she says, no, I don't do that. I just text back and say, yes, when? And that's the dialogue that you have with your son or daughter who's now married and has kids. So it's so true. And I mean, I've got used to it now. And actually, I've discovered the the dictate mode on my phone, so I can actually press the little microphone and talk. So even though I just mean to say yes, I can say, hi there, good morning, hope you're having a great day, and say something a bit more meaningful. I can be more myself. But it's true. We talk in text messages these days, don't we? And she says that, contact is reduced to a single message on a tiny screen. And that can be kind of, I don't know, just kind of sad in a way if you're a communicator. And she says, well, we all do it. Some people only communicate with their pets, and that's probably okay too. It's just we all need ways to communicate. So there's emails that we write. We spend endless amounts of time trying to get it right, but we can't put our faces we can do a video, but we can't really put our feelings and our true meaning into an email. It's almost impossible unless you say, as you say, add a picture or a video, and we can't. No one can tell whether they're being sarcastic or humorous or trying to tell a joke. They sometimes see the words and they're just so black and white. It's like you just feel like, well, you just have to say it as simply as possible. And so she asked the question, are we losing the art of meaningful conversation? Without eye contact, how can you really have a proper conversation? And she says actually, and this is an interesting thought, that if someone doesn't actually look at her when she's talking to them, like make eye contact, even for just a couple of seconds, she just stops and waits. And if no one's actually making eye contact with you when you talk to them, they're probably not listening either. So if you stop and wait, they're either going to come back and say, oh, sorry, what were you saying? And they'll look at you in the eyes, or they'll just not look at you. And then you'll say, okay, see you later. And you just go on. I mean, no point if someone's not going to look at you when you're talking. So anyway, she gives us some tips, 5 tips. And this is for effective communication. So 1, believe in your message. Believe in what you've got to say. I mean, nobody wants to just natter on, and that's an English word, natter on about nothing. They want something meaningful, and you've got to believe in what you're saying. So, say something that is reflective of your knowledge in the subject, even if it is just a small request for something. You can't make a big deal out of being asked to do something or provide a recipe or give something to someone. But, in a face-to-face conversation, you can actually have that kind of passion about what you're talking about. So believe in what you say. Don't talk trivia, just talk what you mean and put some actual passion into the conversation. Another thing is to believe in the message of others. This is so important. It may not be what you believe. It may not be the same, but it's, an opportunity to ask yourself, like, what are they really saying? For example, if they say, I'm just feeling really, really tired today, and you look down, say, oh, is it something I can help you with? Or is it something, you get to understand their feelings by just believing in what they have to say. And if they say something that you don't agree with, we've talked about this before, you can actually find ways to say, well, do you want to explain what you're feeling about that? And it may not be the same as my opinion, but I'm happy to listen and, see, share together. And I think somebody reminded me once that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, which means we should listen twice as much as we talk. As I talk. But anyway, that's the second thing. Believe in other people. Second is to be aware of tone, body language, and facial expressions. I mean, I'm not saying you should become an expert in this and just overanalyze, but if someone is looking down or looking sideways, these are signs that they're either not telling the complete truth, perhaps, or they're trying to make up a story or search for. I think if people look up, they're like trying to remember something, and sideways, it's not telling the whole truth. But you can, you don't even need to know the specifics. You just need to watch how people are talking, how they're engaging with you, and watch their body language. Particularly if people are like cross-armed. That's a really, really obvious sign that they're protecting themselves, that they're like blocking you out of the conversation somehow. And of course, vulgar language doesn't really get you anywhere. It doesn't impress, in my opinion. And the same with, with using colloquialisms or like phrases that no one else is going to understand. So it's just using language properly. That's showing my old-fashioned Britishness, but I still think there's power in words, Another thing is to enjoy conversation. Now, the text message, can you watch the kids? Yes, what time? That's pretty practical. Just get it done. But when you get there, you can always say, tell me a couple of things that little one's been up to lately, or, how have you been feeling? Have you been getting enough sleep? What kind of dreams have you been having lately? Just say something that is a conversation starter. And I think by appreciating conversation, we keep our own situations in check, and our own perspective can change. It's like my dad used to always say, I cried because I had no shoes until I saw a man who had no feet. And that's kind of sometimes we get so caught up in the tiniest little things that, well, they're not tiny to us, of course, but they're things that in perspective start to fade a bit and just resolve themselves. I think that's super important. So I think it's really good to connect with other people by believing in yourself, believing in them, learning or practicing how to have a conversation, and learning how to listen. I think those are just 4 really good tips. I don't know what the 5th one was there. I think I probably skipped over it. But anyway, the 5th is to do them all. Try them all. But I do hope that you found this a useful article, and that you thought, and the topic was of value to you. I think there's just nothing like having a proper conversation that goes to the heart of an issue and really does show you care. So let's have a conversation. Can you share a fun memory of a delightful conversation? Share with us a conversation that you had that just made you smile, that was so much fun, that was so interesting. Share an interesting conversation that you've had. Look forward to this. I really do. That'd be a great thing to have a dialogue about. So put it in the comment section below, and tell other friends about 60andMe. Share what we're doing. Go up to our website, 60andme.com, and check out our news feature and the other things that we're adding to the website for you. It's all for you. And tell us, what was the most meaningful, delightful conversation that you've ever had? Thanks so much for being here, everyone. Have a fabulous day, and I look forward to being back with you all soon. Take good care for now. Bye-bye.